Hey guys, welcome back. 4.5 is finally here, and I did open my relics already, but unfortunately, my pulls weren't super great, so I don't feel like I recorded it, but I don't feel like there's any worth in uploading it, because most of the ones that I got were like dupes, except for a Materia Girl and a second Neuromancer, which was really cool. But anyway, this video, I just want to do a quick review on the 4 new fighters that we got. Namely, Starshine, Beast King, Gangrene, and Time Thief. Okay, so... oh, the new Fire Branded. You know, the color palette is actually quite good. The last one was a bit too striking for me. This one gives off a more cool vibe. I quite like it actually. I think it's pretty good. I just don't like the name. Fire Branded sounds weird. Heatsink sounds actually much cooler. But that's not the point. Let's talk about Starshine. Starshine looks absolutely insane. Now, some of the values and details have been shown. Some people fought her already from like AI and stuff. And we found out that at max investment, the first ability becomes 20 seconds, and the second ability becomes 30 seconds. You can check all of this in a wiki. I've already updated that one. But let's talk about Starshine. The thing about Starshine is that she gets a lot of great buffs by practically doing nothing. She doesn't need to do anything, just play normally, and she gets permanent position for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds. That's insane. That's insane. Like, when Materia Girl was revealed with permanent position, people were like, oh my god, this might be really good. And then we found out it's a bit RNG and that, you know, it depends on star power. But Starshine, she doesn't need star power. She just needs to stand there, don't get tagged out for 30 seconds, and you get permanent position. Easy as that. I was worried about Annie, you know, being a character that does long chain combos. Particular weakness about long chain combos is that it activates a lot of defensive catalysts and defensive buffs. And I guess with Catalyst, you know, you can't really bypass that. But defensive buffs, permanent position doesn't care about that. The first ability, Immunity and Blessing, after 20 seconds at max is pretty good as well. Gaining immunity means you don't have to worry about Hexy Time, Curse of Knowledge, and you know, those stuff. Blessing is interesting. It allows you to get killed once, and that's fine, so there is a failsafe. On the other hand, she can also be used as a defensive fighter for the first ability, but just gaining immunity and blessing defensively, I guess, doesn't really do much. I mean, yes, you have Light Catalyst, but when you have like other light fighters that has a more useful defensive signature ability like Dazzle Folks, Dreadlocks, and of course Splitting Image, well, Starshine doesn't really provide anything that seems really good. I think Starshine shines the most offensively, and I bet she's gonna be like possibly meta. But of course, with any Diamond Fighters, it'll take a while before people get a hold of her, invest in her, and of course the move. So it'll be a while, but Starshine definitely a really good Diamond. If you pull one later on during the Christmas event, congratulations. She's one of the best, I feel like. She's really good. Now let's move on to Beast King. And Beast King is honestly one of my favorite diamonds ever. Like, his palette is cool, his ability is insane. Okay, so at max investment, this 5 seconds to inflict Wither and Curse will be extended. I think it was 15 seconds or 10, I forgot. It might be 10 seconds. But the dealing at least 10% of the opponent's max health is still the same, so you need to deal 10% to inflict Wither and Curse. But the second signature ability is even more crazy. At max investment, it gets boosted up to 25% bonus damage. That is insane. Now again, you can check this in the wiki, I've already updated it. It's based on values that people find when they fight the AI that has Beast King. So 25% damage for each debuff stack in either fighter. Ideally, you're supposed to use this with the first signature ability, so Wither and Curse, and then if you inflict multiple Withers, that of course stacks in your damage. But remember that Beowulf also has access to a lot of moves that can inflict other debuffs, such as slow, armor break, bleed. Like if you use Lupin Pummel for example, it has a 25% chance at level 1, but this chance will of course increase as you level them up. It can inflict curse, cripple, and slow. With Beast King, that's already 50% bonus damage. And slow stacks as well. Like you can't even imagine how much damage Beast King is gonna pull. And Wither and Curse as well are like top tier debuffs. Wither reduces Blesser meter, so you don't have to worry about getting punished. And then Curse just prevents all buffs together. So you don't have to worry about Frost Armor, you don't have to worry about Last Words, you don't have to worry about plus Twisted Thorns. And you don't even have to care about the debuffs that you have on you. Well, unless they're Doom or something like Heavy Bleed. Maybe you should worry about that. But yeah, Beast King is just insane. And yes, you need to deal at least 10% of the opponent's max health. But if you have like your other blockbusters, like again as I said, Lupin Pummel that can inflict debuffs, you can easily hit that bar really easily just through your second signature ability. Honestly, his second signature ability is absolutely insane. 25% bonus damage for each debuff. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Beast King is, I think, definitely gonna be a top tier diamond for sure. Alright, next we have Time Thief. Now, Time Thief is a bit odd for me. She shared the same base stats as Meow and Forever, I think. So, as Miss Fortune, she does have quite a high attack, but it's not as high as Claw and Order and Hack and Splash. And her first two signature ability, when she lands a hit while throwing her head, so only when she throws her head that first time, it's not head hits, it's when she throws her head, she inflicts Death Mark for 10 seconds and deals damage equal to 50%. And this 50% will get boosted up to 100% when it's max invested. The unique concept of Time Thief is in her second signature ability, where any damage suffered while in headless mode she can regain back, and this 50% will also be boosted up to 100% when you max her skill tree. And I don't know, she feels a bit weird because as a firefighter, she doesn't have that much offensive output. Like, yes, she has Death Mark, and yes, she can deal 100% of her attack while throwing her head, but her second signature ability is almost defensive. It's more like a failsafe, actually. You can't even call it defensive since the opponent, the AI rarely recalls her head after, you know, after throwing her head. Like, you can't bet on the AI to keep on throwing her head and recalling back and forth. So I think she's definitely going to be used offensively, but as an offensive unit, she doesn't have that much of an offensive output. Like, Hack and Splash has Armor Break and Precision. Claw and Order has debuffs resets, which is quite insane. I guess Time Thief, you would want to use it as headless mode, but like, again, she doesn't have anything offensive to offer. Aside from Death Mark, which a lot of Miss Fortune, I think Miss Fortune can inflict Death Mark as well quite easily through some of her blockbusters. So she's weird. She's a weird one. I think she's the weakest out of the revealed new variants, and she might possibly be the worst gold Miss Fortune. Possibly. I wish someone can prove me wrong. I hope someone does, because she's a really cool variant. I really like her concept. Her second signature ability is really cool. I think it fits the character she's referencing to. Last one is Gangrene. And Gangrene is really interesting. Now, she gains blockbuster meter really fast, really easily, just by moving. And this 1% will be boosted up to a maximum of 3% at max when you maxed out her skill tree. And her second signature ability is she gains Miasma for 5 seconds every 3 seconds while not blocking your dead body. And this 3 seconds will be boosted up to 1 second. So just by not blocking your dead body, every second you gain a stack of Miasma. And this can stack very fast, very easily, especially when you're in the corner and there's a dead body there, whether it's your teammates or your opponents. And as you know, Squiggly has a lot of combo potential. So you can like do all your really long combo with the corner while gaining Miasma, multiple stacks of Miasma. And we all know that Miasma is a really powerful buff. So she's almost like Bio Exorcist 2.0. She is a silver and she does have silver stats. I think she has Necro Breaker stats. But then again, Bio Exorcist doesn't even have a great attack stat, but her Bio Exorcist ability is much easier to pull off. So Gangrene is kind of like, she can potentially deal more damage and have a better control due to, you know, Miasma draining both HP and meter. But again, she needs to have that dead body, so she does need a certain condition to be passed first. I think she's easily the best Silver Squiggly we have right now, and most of the Silver Squigglies are really hindered by their raw base stats, which are really low attack stat and quite okay at HP. Gangrene doesn't even care about the attack stat because she gains Miasma, so that already makes her like much better than the others. Great. Anyway, that's all for this video. I don't know how much I talked right there. I think it shouldn't be that long, but so yeah, so overall the two new diamonds are insane. Starshine and Beast King is absolutely bonkers. Gangrene is a really cool and good silver, and I'm really excited to see more variants like this appearing soon. And Time Thief, unfortunately, is probably the weakest out of all of the other three, and probably the weakest Misfortune, but that's just my hot take. If you can prove me wrong, then please do, because I really want to see her succeed. I think she's really cool. So that's all for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week.